Ty Brady here with Brady Insurance Marketing in the Ty Brady Way. As a successful entrepreneur myself, I'm passionate in helping other entrepreneurs do the same as they rise from rags to riches and get inspired each week on the stories they tell here at the Ty Brady Way. Welcome back. For popular demand, I have Charlie Jennings on the show today, and we want to dig into some details on marketing, and I think we all evolve as, at least in the insurance world, as producers, right? We're individual producers, we're out writing apps, but you've really honed in on how to market and how to market yourself. And I want to talk about a few of those strategies. So let's take people back, first of all. How did you start marketing? Well, back even further. Where did you start your career in the insurance industry?
With funeral planning, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, oh gosh, back in the 90s, I did prepaid funeral planning. And if you can do prepaid funeral planning, you can definitely do Medicare. But when I got my insurance license, I did prepaid funeral planning for mortuaries.
30 years.
25
years.
Yeah.
And you really sold the doom and gloom, right? I mean, because
yes.
no one prepares for death, right? I mean, that's what you're doing. People
they are in denial.
Yeah, they're never going to happen, right?
Stick their head in the sand.
Okay,
so many guys say, I'm never going to die.
Or I'm healthy as a horse.
Yes.
I don't know, a horse is very healthy, right? But I mean, I guess you could say that.
Right.
I'm healthy as Superman, I guess. Well, so you started prepaid funeral planning, and then you decide to get in Medicare. Now, how did you start marketing day one in Medicare?
Buying leads.
Buying leads. What type of leads?
A lot of LIS, low-income subsidy leads.
Were they online leads, direct mail?
Direct mail.
Okay. So you did a lot of direct mail leads, and you were catering to people that were under the poverty level, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you started doing that. Did you work just your home market? Your backyard? Okay. What'd you do?
Well, I started in the home market, but I wanted to think bigger and realize that there's people over the age of 65 in other states.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then my son lived in Nebraska, so I went to Nebraska, and I went to Wyoming, I went to Idaho, I went to Nevada, just various states. So,
did you jump in with both feet, or did you do it part-time?
No, heck no. Well, I kept my job as in funeral planning for the first 2.5 years, but in my mind, baby, it was full-time. It was pedal to the metal. And when I wasn't selling funeral plans, I was enrolling people in Medicare. No, this was never a hobby. This was make money.
So you had to work 2 jobs.
Yes.
Because everything we do is 1099. We get paid direct by the carrier.
Yep.
So you started for 2.5 years. You're doing Medicare and prepaid funeral planning.
Right.
And then 2.5 years in, you're working direct mail leads that, consumers, it goes to their mailbox, comes back to you, and then you go and help them.
Mm-hmm.
After 2.5 years, then what happened?
Well, I called you, and then I called the funeral home, and I said, I'm done. I'm not coming in anymore. There's no 2 weeks notice. I'm done. And there was a big silence on the phone, and I had a big grin on my face. And right after I got off the phone with them, I called you and said, I'm free. I'm done.
Yeah.
No more being unemployed every morning because it was straight commission. But now I built up a residual income or passive income with this. I didn't need to do that anymore, and it was very liberating.
So you tell them goodbye. And
yes.
One of the stories you told me too, I think, as happens so often, is the third generation comes in on what mom and dad had built,
yes,
and then wants to start siphoning a lot more money. And then they come to you and say, hey, Charlie, we got to cut your commission.
Yeah, well, not only that, but they were allowing salaried employees to dip into my business. People that were elderly people that were walking in or calling in. Now the salaried funeral directors could snag the low-hanging fruit, which mean that I had to work 10 times harder, pounding the streets, going through the files to make an income. After they made that decision, I didn't make a dime in 3 months.
Wow.
Nothing.
And previously, you would have gotten those leads, and you would have sold them.
Yes.
And keep in mind, you were was a $1 million producer. What do they call it? You were top. Oh, yeah. What is the top tier producer? What do they call them?
$1 million producers. I was generating $1 million a year in revenue for the funeral home.
Wow.
Yeah.
For them.
Yes.
Now,
guaranteed income.
You get out of the prepaid funeral plan industry. You start working leads. You tell your boss goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Then how did you start marketing?
Well, I was still doing direct mail. One thing that you always told me is bleed the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the lead in, you call them. If they don't answer, call them back. Did I use a script? No. I developed a relationship with them. And if they didn't answer the phone, I went by their house. I'd send them a text. I'd take a picture of the lead and I would text it to them. And people would start to reply to the text. But I would bleed the lead. If I'm going to pay for the lead, they're going to buy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to waste it.
Yeah.
So, but then I evolved into, my wife was a dental hygienist for 30 years. And I got thinking, you know what? There's a lot of seniors that are going into those dental offices that the older they get, the more dental care they need. And sometimes their existing plan didn't have sufficient dental benefits on it. And so I found that I could develop a relationship with those dental offices as a resource agent where they could call me and I could help their senior patients change plans or whatever. And I'd be in the backyard, be in the house, or be in the office, and I get a call from an area code 402. And I knew immediately that was a lead. It was a referral coming in from a dental office in Omaha, and it was basically taking the order because they had already endorsed me.
Yeah, but it wasn't that way. How did that process start? Because we've talked about dental offices and other financial planners and other people that don't do what we do. How does that start? So somebody who says, hey, Charlie, I say, Charlie, can you talk to this person? Because they want to do what you do. Because you're writing 8, 10, 12 apps a week, typically on Fridays, because you're stacking all these people that have talked to you throughout the week. But how did you start that process with the dental office?
You're going to have to cut this out because I'm drawing a blank.
No, you're good.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you walk into the dental office? Did you call them on the phone?
I called them on the phone.
That's what I think is amazing. You didn't even go. Have you been in their office ever?
No.
You've never been in their office?
No.
So you called them on the phone and said, here's how I can help you.
Yeah, what I would do is, like Husker Dental in Omaha, they have never met me face to face. I've talked to them on the phone numerous times. I've been in maybe 2 or 3 dental offices face to face. Everything else has been over the phone.
And you have what, 12 that consistently refer business to?
Yeah.
12?
Yeah. And I'm going to get more.
Well, we keep saying get to 20, right?
Yes.
Because if they refer 1 a day, that's 20 new leads a day, right?
Right.
Yeah, fantastic.
The thing that I found, and we'll probably get more into this, but the thing that you got to understand is with dental offices is they're wondering right up front, am I going to have to pay this agent? And so I tell them, you don't need to pay me. You don't need to pay me. I'm not going to be asking for any money. And it's got to be service, service, service. What I can do for you, what I can do for your patients.
We talk about win, 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 right?
Yes.
So it's a win for you as the agent because we get paid a commission by the carrier, right?
Right.
It's a win for the member because they're able to get the dental work done that they previously wouldn't get done. Right. We know that dental is tied to good health, right? And you only get you get 2 pairs of teeth, your baby teeth and the teeth you got right here. They don't grow back, right? And then the last one is it's a win for the dental office because it helps them create revenue.
Yeah.
And if you talk to dental offices, the number one reason they say people don't come back is because why? They don't believe they can afford it.
Right.
So it's a win all the way through the process.
Yeah, they say, I don't have the money for that crown, that root canal, for that filling. I don't have money for dentures. A lot of dental offices think, well, I don't want to deal with dual eligible patients because we don't want to have to deal with Medicaid. That is a myth. if they're Medicare, Medicaid, I can stick them on a dual complete plan and boom, there's $4,000 worth of dental. And so, and I'll tell dental offices too, I said, do you realize that I can help dental offices create $400,000 more a year in revenue by tapping into that client base that they're not utilizing.
Or they're already seeing them. They're already seeing those patients. They're just not on the right program.
Right.
To get those services done.
Right.
There's people on the call or that'll listen to this and they're going to say this, but Charlie, how did you do it? So you make a call to the dental office. Do I want to talk to the dentist? Who do I want to talk to?
Usually the office manager or the person in charge of billing. I don't talk to the person at the front desk because they are not the decision maker. Typically the office manager or the person in charge of billing. And I don't take a lot of time when I call because they're busy. They're busy seeing patients, and I'll be super quick with them. But I let them know what I do. And I'll say, look, I've been doing this for years, which is the truth.
That's right.
I've been working with dental offices for a long time. I am a resource agent. And I'll ask them, what do you do with your Medicare patients that need additional dental? What do you do with them? I had one dental office say, well, we send them to the Department of Health and Human Services. They're not going to get any help there. So they need me. And that's the thing that the agent needs to understand, whether it be a dental office, whether it be a PNC office.
Another financial planner that doesn't do what we do. Right. Yeah, right. It all works the same.
Right.
I think oftentimes agents go in there and they're like, how can I get referrals? And they're like, what's in it for me, right? And that is the wrong approach. I liked how you said service. Mm-hmm. So after you've made that initial call, you've warmed up the office manager. What are the next steps?
One thing that I wanted to mention is that sometimes I'll call them and I'll say, look, I've got some clients. I'm a Medicare insurance broker. I've got some clients in your area that they're looking for a really good dental office. And I'll ask them, are you currently taking on new clients? Okay. Because then that kind of makes their eyes or ears perk up, thinking, oh, he's going to refer business to us. Again, what can you do for me?
Not for you.
Right. For them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're thinking. What can you do for me? Because that's what's going through their head. And so immediately I'll say, I need a good dentist to refer people to. And then I'll ask them, are you currently credentialed with
whatever carrier?
United Healthcare, Aetna, whoever. And I'll say, great. I need somebody to send business to. And then I'll also get into, I've been helping dental offices for a long time as a resource agent. Have you got a minute now? We can talk about it, or would it be better to call you back? Mm-hmm. You know, and then I'll kind of light the fire a little bit. And then afterwards they'll say, well, can you send me an email with some information? Well, what we've done is that we put together a beautiful professional flyer that with bullet points on what I do for them, with a couple of endorsements from 2 dental offices that I currently work with, and I email that to them. And then I'll call them back, make sure they got the email. And I had 2 dental offices last week. I called them back and they said, oh yeah, thanks for the email. Then I sent them some business cards. I included a thank you note. And I was looking for opportunities to get back to them, to have that communication active. And I said, did you get the business cards? And they said, yes. What else can I do for you? And they're in. And these new dental offices, they said, we will definitely refer people to you. And then I keep building the dream with them. I said, can you see how this can evolve into additional revenue for your office? And look what it can do for your patients. And I'll ask them, I said, think about it. What about all those patients? They're not coming in because they don't have the money.
Yeah. I
can change that, and I can usually do it throughout the year. So.
But how important is follow-up? You mentioned follow-up. Oh. You've got the office manager on the hook. You've sent an email. You've given them business cards. That follow-up, is it like now they got my business cards. I'm done. I have to ever call them again. I have to communicate them. How often do you follow up?
You got to remember there's the 95% pool of agents and there's the 5% pool, or there's the 1% pool. Where do you want to be? If you want to make 6 and 7 figure incomes, you got to get out of that 95% pool of agents and you got to think like the 5%. And I guarantee you the 5% is the one that follows up. They follow up, they follow up, they follow up. Why do they not trust you? Because the 95% calls them and they don't follow up. But if you separate yourself from that 95% and you follow up and you check in on them and you email them and you call them, hey, how are you doing? In fact, one of the offices that I worked with last week, the office manager is on Medicare, her and her husband, and I'm going to move them over to another plan because they want me as an agent. That's the office manager. I have office managers that are younger, that they have their parents, that they want me to enroll their parents because I've developed that trust through follow-up.
Yeah. Now, a client's called you and they need a crown or a bridge or they need some dentures. Mm-hmm. And I've seen you actually connect them. Yes. Or we had conversations about how you've connected them with the local dentist and that you've been able to get into a dental office that previously wouldn't have talked to you. How does that work?
Well, I've had clients that have called me and say, I've got to get some new dentures. I've got to get this crown done. I don't know who to go to. This one lady in Ogden, she needed new dentures. I put her on a plan that was going to get her $4,000 worth. I found this dental office that had a 5-star rating, and I called them and I says, look, I've got a client that needs this. Can you fit her in? Can you help her? And by the way, I'm a resource agent. I refer clients to businesses. Do you want to do business with me as a referral partner where you refer business to me, I refer business to you? And I was able to get that client in. She got her dentures. She's happy with them. They fit. And so there, like you said, there's a lot of win-win going on here. Dental offices want to make sure that their patients are happy and that they keep coming back and they refer their friends to them. And so I treat their patients very carefully, just with as much care as they do. Mm-hmm. So
you've also helped on the billing side, meaning that the office manager did the incorrect billing and you've been able to get bills paid. What's that? So somebody calls and somebody says, hey, I did a cleaning. I didn't get paid. What do you do then?
I'd call United Healthcare.
The carrier, yeah.
Yeah, or whatever the carrier was, and says, look, we got a problem here. This needs to be fixed. A lot of times, dental offices won't bill the right division within the carrier.
Or the right code.
Yes, or they're not using the right code. There's, with one carrier in particular, there's a division with regular Medicare Advantage plans, and there's a separate department or division for dual complete. And a lot of dental offices don't know that. And so if I can help provide education to them so that they can get paid faster, then again, I'm providing a service to that dental office so they can get paid faster.
You've also done lunch and learns where you've educated the staff, right, on what programs are available.
Right.
And then you also have a permission to contact on your website. Plus, you've given them permission to contact cards. So you've given them multiple ways that they can get a hold of you. So they can call you, they can go on your website, they can do the business reply card so that you get those referral clients calling you so you get them on the right programs.
Right.
So if you have somebody listening to this, what would you encourage them to do?
Well, first of all, just have the attitude of service. Get that frame of mind out of your head of dental office, what can you do for me? Because again, you're thinking like the 95% that's broke. You've got to have that attitude of what I can bring to the table and what I can do for you to make you more money. And if you serve the dental offices, you serve the patients, the money that you make is a byproduct of the service that you're providing those referral partners and the clients.
How so powerful, Charlie. Service first and money is a byproduct of the service.
It is.
Have you bought a lead in the last 2 years?
No.
But you've what? You've spent time.
Yeah.
You spent the time to build those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you feeding them or are they feeding you?
Say it again.
Are they feeding you or are you feeding them?
Who?
The dental offices. When I say them, the business professional.
Well, I'm feeding them patients, but
Yep.
they're also feeding me.
It's a win-win.
It is.
And then you got the patient that is happy with getting their teeth fixed because now they can actually chew or get eat the steak, right? Whatever.
Corn on the cob.
Yeah, corn on the cob. They can actually do those things they previously hadn't do. And guess what? Then they became a client for life of yours, and they're going to get more clients based on that as well.
Right.
It's just that blossoming effect, and they're champions for you.
I had a lady that called me out of the blue in Brigham City, and she said, I need help. I'm on original Medicare. I lost my employer group health plan through Blue Cross, and my dad died because he was the beneficiary. What can you do for me? And first of all, I says, well, who are you? I don't know that we've met. Where did you get my name? Oh, I called this dentist, and the dentist said, you need to talk to Charlie because he knows more than any other agent we've talked to or has helped us. You need to call him. And so not only did I enroll her in a Medicare Advantage, but I also enrolled her in a GTL cancer plan. I enrolled her in a GTL hospital indemnity plan. So I got 3 applications because she wanted that security. She wanted those holes filled. And she said, I got thousands of dollars of dental. I put her on a plan with a carrier that had $2,500 worth of dental. So I met her needs, and I also provided her, a place to go to a good dentist that was going to get the work done that she needed done. Again, I was serving the patient or the client.
Solution-based selling, right? Solution-based selling.
You solve the problem.
Yeah. And that lady, had she called other agents?
Yeah, she had 2 other agents that talked to her, and she was going to sign up with another agent through a carrier in Box Elder County, and I'm going, no, you don't want to do that.
What did she tell you after she talked to you? After being frustrated and not getting the answer she wanted?
She said, you know more than these other agents.
Yeah.
And they're giving me the wrong information. They're telling me that there's a medical deductible with these plans. I says, no, there's not. There's not, and I can prove it to you. And I showed her in the summary of benefits, there's no medical deductible on these plans that I was showing her. And so she became convinced that I knew what I was talking about, and I developed that credibility with her. And so she's like, okay, just tell me what I need to do. And
that's awesome when they're like, what do I need to do, Charlie? Just tell me.
When you said solving the problem, that's what I do. I get calls when some of these dual eligible clients, I got to talk them off the cliff. I had one yesterday that was, oh man, I'm in deep doo-doo here. Help me out here. And I says, all right, step 1, this is what you need to do. You need to do this and you need to do this. And she did those. And I says, call me back and let me know how it went. She said, oh, okay. Everything got worked out. We got everything paid. Everything's cool for now. Thanks so much. And all I did is identify the problem, and I solved it for her because she was having panic attacks. So,
well, where do you see it going the next 5 years? And then we'll wrap this thing up.
Okay. 5 years. Well, there's so many baby boomers you and I've talked about. There's 10 to 12,000 seniors turning 65 every day in the nation. You get 1,000 clients, that's 25,000 a month, every month. 25,000 a month, every month. And I've been working, on some hobbies, getting a fence built, bought my wife a new Mercedes. I've kind of been focused in another area, but guess what? Those passive renewals are coming in. It's just like...
And your phone's ringing.
And my phone's ringing, and I'm getting referrals from existing clients. I'm getting referrals from dental offices. Where do I see it? I've got things set up. I've got a system in place, a process set up that We're calling dental offices. We're getting them these flyers. They're opening them up. I can see it in Agent Core when they open it up and read it. And so I'm going to follow up with them, and get with them. My goal is to get 30 to 40 to 50 apps a month off of these dental offices, off of PNC offices. And you invest time, but you don't invest money. But it's a referral partner that will continue to feed you, but it's good money.
You know, the number one lead is a referral.
Yeah.
Number one lead is a referral.
Yeah.
So why not take the time and make that relationship and build that relationship?
Take the order.
Yeah. Last thoughts?
Just, this is a great business. You know, the longer that I've been in the business, the more I've grown to really wrap my head around passive residual income. It creates freedom. I'm 66 years old, going on 67. I'm never going to retire. But the more I've enjoyed this freedom, people say, well, how are you doing, Charlie? I'll say, I'm living the dream. They, oh, come on, how are you really doing? Well, I'm living the dream. I'm free. You know, I live life on my own terms, which any one of you can do. The thought of getting on the freeway at 6 a.m. like my neighbors do and get to work and work for a man that pays you just enough to keep you there, which you could get fired any minute, that's not me anymore.
Not fantastic.
I don't want to be in the 95%. I want to be in the 1%. So anyway, great business.
Charlie, I can tell you're very passionate about what you do. You love what you do, and you've really perfected a system. We have talked about dental offices and other professional offices for years, and you've really embraced that. So thank you and congratulations.
I have one more thing.
What's that?
Don't worry about the script. Too many agents say, well, Charlie, what's the script? What's the secret sauce? You know, don't worry about the script. You just got to love them, and you've got to provide service. And you got to realize that, what can I do for them? The PNC office, the dental office, what can I do for you? I will show you what I can do for you. Don't worry about the script.
Charlie, thanks so much. Don't worry about the script. Follow up. I'll take that. And always share, like, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. As always, share, like, and subscribe. Go to Instagram at ty.r.brady. And as always, love hearing from you. And let me know what you want to learn on the show or what you'd like me to bring up on the show. Thanks.
You can find the Ty Brady Way on Instagram as well as Facebook. To stay connected with giveaways and Ty himself, go ahead and follow at ty.r.brady on Instagram as well as Facebook. This podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Whitney Face Media Marketing. The theme music is an excerpt from Hot Chicken of the Woods by Isaac Joel.